Hello, everybody. Today, I bring you a special episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show, crazy fursuiter extraordinaire, and so much more. And I'm joined by none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hello, I am just an orange doggo trying to find my place in the world. Bark, 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 bark.
And today, our special guest for the show is none other than Nice, the singing dog.
What up?
Yo, what up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I've got a dog that won't stop freaking licking me, so it'd be great if we all just got along tonight so we can do this stream thing. I know.
Well, you
Yeah.
might say it's how we do.
It's how we do.
yeah.
Oh goodness, yes, I listened to in preparation for this, I had to spend hours, well, a day actually, just binging on your music.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm also sorry. That seems like a large amount
It
to
is-
listen to. It's such a
Nah,
concentration.
It's good. No, it's good. I've got a few favorites of my own as well.
Oh shit.
Actually, my favorite of all of them would be the doghouse.
Really? Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's
Yo,
actually-
right on.
That's a style I'm trying to get into with the art too. Is I don't want to say darker, but like more like cutting into the emotion and like the depth of things more. Like when I started out doing Nice, it was very like objective. Like it had a purpose. Like I need to make like furry dance music and like it needs to be fun. And like I didn't really get anywhere with the lyrics so much. And so the Doghouse was like one of those attempts where I'm finally like, okay, I'm gonna really like try and dig into this and make it a little more personal.
Okay.
So I'm glad you dig that.
So, nice. What kind of like genres did you want to like delve into to kind of express that message?
Well, I like where I've been going with it in terms of how my voice has been. My voice has changed over like the albums. Like in the beginning, I had that synthy extra voice, and I've changed that to my like live one because I started getting performances. But while I like what I did with my voice, I want to go back to the more electro dancey stuff. Just have the lyrics be have more substance. Now that I feel like I have enough of the fun in there, I don't want to get crazy experimental, but I want to hit home with some better lyrics. It's the shit I'm doing with Escape the Humans. Like all the songs are like that, which I like a lot. Which would be great if I could fucking show all of you guys. But I will. But that's the direction that album's going in. Was like I want to get the music back to where it's not super synthy, but it is that fun dancey shit from the EP and Unleashed, but with more of my more serious lyrics. So you can enjoy it for the music, or if you really want to take it on a ride, you can actually look into the lyrics and go into that
okay.
spiral too.
That's really cool, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
So to that.
I guess you didn't start out with that. Like, what did you start out with? Like, when you first started to get into furry music, like, what was your like? How did that even come about?
It was very stressful. My whole
Oh.
plan and Nice was really stressful because as like I've been doing art forever. Like I went to music school for 4 years. I before that in high school I was in all like the music shit and choir and all that stuff. Like I've always been writing and always been creating and stuff. And I was always very meticulous about like I wanted to care about everything. I wanted to put all my time and effort and all this shit. And Nice was the first time I got out of school. I was in Astoria. I was in Astoria then. I was in Long Island City. And I was like, dude, I just want to do music, and I'm not going to focus so much on the meticulousness, because this is like I don't know furries. That was my first like toe into all that shit. Was like I'm just going to make a character. He's going to be this like green fucking dog, whatever. It's going to be like Nick or Nice or what I don't know. We're just going to do it. So every step was like me just guessing, which was like really stressful for me because I always really wanted to be like super planned and super like type A. And this was like the first time I was like, just you don't know what's going to happen, so just do it. Just
Wow, that's actually like extremely unique, because like I really don't know a lot of people like in our fandom who just decided to make a character just just to do it because
You
of
know,
their
isn't
brand
that how
name.
we all began becoming furries in the first
Oh,
place?
yeah,
You
I
said,
mean,
you know,
no, no,
I
it's
think that's
not.
like the origin story of
you
everyone,
know,
though.
I need a persona, and I'm just like, oh, this is gonna look cool. This cute. Okay, you know what? This is me. That's it. I'm
Yeah.
did it.
Well, I wonder like if there's a difference between people who are very talented, like especially like a musician like you, who would do such a thing, or like YouTubers or something, whereas the regular just individual who doesn't have particular skills like that would just want to be making up their own character. I wonder like how that differs
Yeah,
because
I would even say,
so
yeah.
you made your character because you wanted to have I would suppose a brand name, right? Or
Yeah,
like a,
I
a
mean,
mascot kind of.
I mean, I can't even really give. This year is the first time I can give credit to myself actually making my character, because I don't have like I have the copyright, I have all that shit legally, but like I didn't do shit. I didn't know how to draw till this year, which is like even like it's like we're doing the best we can. But like that was literally he was literally designed by Casper. Casper
Mhm.
she was the first one who even did him back in 2013, and then Valheim in Canada was the first one who actually like drew him up a ref, gave him his clothes, gave him that look, like this logo, this logo, like that's all them. They did all that. Like I didn't have any. I was like, my goal was to do the music, and like I want this character, and everyone's just gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna pay you, and we're just gonna do it. We're all just gonna do it together. It's gonna be fun.
Okay,
So
so like you were totally just gonna embrace that, right? Because I
yeah,
did see
it's a little
that
stressful.
video of you in Times Square opening up your first like the unboxing video
unboxing!
like from Russia, and that was like
Yeah.
first stuff. That was
I
pretty
was, I was like,
silly.
wouldn't this be cool if we just like got a label? I was literally like at my restaurant job. I just like went to the computer. I was like, I'm just gonna type this up and like pretend like I'm doing invoices or something, and just type up this thing from Russia and Microsoft Word, and I just stamped it onto the box.
Oh
That was
man, that was
ridiculous.
funny. That
I
was
forgot
really
about
funny.
that shit.
I know, yeah, it was a while ago, but damn, that
Times
was
Square,
funny.
Times Square is stressful to do that, and also I'll never forget like the amount of cops that came up to us because I was with my ex at the time, and he helped me do all that shit. I can't tell you how many cops came up to us making sure we weren't busking, we weren't getting tips, and or that we had a permit. And we're like, no, we don't have a permit because we're literally this is like what our people do. We like dress up in these mascot things and we go around. But
Yeah,
like we got stopped every 5 seconds.
and like you weren't panhandling either. Like you weren't going
No.
up to people like, "Hey, give me spare change."
Yeah, but they know
I
everyone
mean,
does that shit because it's Times Square. So it was just funny. Like it's like I can't even like I couldn't even accept money. I couldn't even see like that was my Blix fursuit head. I couldn't see shit out of that. I was like, even if they gave me money, like they'd have to stuff it in my jeans because I can't touch anything. I can't see anything. Like I don't know where I'm going. Probably running into someone for the 10th time.
yeah, I
But
know what you mean.
that was funny though. that was a stressful day, and that was the first time I ever had. No, that was like that's the first time I wore that costume, but that was like in my life, like the second time I put one on. The only other time I wore some other guy's fursuit costume was like so. This is like the second time, third time. Still
Well,
super like I was like I don't know what I'm doing.
well, you did look pretty awesome.
What? I can't hear you over my fucking dog. What?
You
Yeah,
did look pretty awesome. Also,
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
it was fun. I just try to keep calm in those things.
my God, he's a little feisty one, isn't he?
Are we done? Are we done? Sorry, my house is like a zoo. It's like
That's okay. Like, I mean, it's kind of interesting too because first you were now literally living with pets, and then kind of a sidetrack. You did a series of videos living with pets.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, that was back in the day. Now, speaking of history, I would like to tell our audience. Now, nice. I'm not sure if you have kept up on this, but did you know that Paws to the Walls has over 575,000 views?
That's awesome. No, I haven't. I used to look at the comments, which was the funnest point of my night on like a Wednesday, just getting really drunk and reading all the comments. I think, let me look. I think on YouTube, I'm just pulling this up for a second because you get those notification bell things.
Mhm.
I think I have what does it say? I think I have 3,920 notifications I haven't opened. So that's like all the comments and shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's I
That's
couldn't. I
dope.
tried to. Um, but I remember when that song, I was trying to like push that song so hard, I got in trouble with YouTube because like you in the before time, I don't think you can do it anymore. You could like click on a video, refresh, click on the video, so you could like bump up the views because I was a little shithead, and then YouTube flagged me for it because I wanted to get out there, and like things don't get out there like if they have like no watches or anything, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this pause the walls bullshit? So I was like trying to click on it and keep like watching it and shit, and they finally like blocked me. They're like, we're not accepting any of your views anymore for the stats of this video. And
Well,
then it
my
happened, like you said, like it's like
goodness.
500,000 now, so that was wasted time.
You have been very successful, especially another one of my favorite songs of yours, "Pause Up," has
Oh yeah, with Hixby. Yeah, that's
one
Hixby's one.
hundred
Yeah,
and 78,000 views.
yeah.
Wagon Like Us has over 104,000 views.
I'm surprised that's not shut down because that's totally AFI. Isn't that AFI? That's not AFI. What's that? What's that? It's like AFL or something. That's a cover, and then no, that was Bucktown Tigers cover of that's what it was of that I forget that AIF band from fucking whenever. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
but
that they didn't block that. That's great.
yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
Cool.
And
Yes, this is how much I know about my own fucking channel.
one of my favorite songs of yours, which actually, I'm sure you actually responded to my comment 3 years ago when I saw this at
Thank God.
freaking Anthrocon.
Did
It was
something right.
"It's How We Do,"
Yeah.
30,000 views. No, I'm sorry, 30,000 views.
Yeah. They just take a
Holy
while.
Wow.
Yeah. It's hard, and that's the issue with like music. Like I see it with a lot of musicians in this fandom, they have that issue of like no one's seeing my shit. It just takes longer for us. Like unless you have like Q fursuits in there or you have art or something like that, it's just gonna take longer. Like if you slap up your album cover on like 12 songs, like it's not gonna get the same kind of traction that like everything else visual is. But that doesn't mean it's not great, and that doesn't mean it's not gonna be successful. You just gotta wait longer.
Oh no, I know you have a very good point about that. Especially like even now, I'm not crapping on current furries that are doing this, but they will have like a compilation of events from a particular furry con, and then they'll overlap it with a music video, but like the song is from some popular artist that they don't, it's like one of those mainstream things.
Yeah.
So like they'll do that all the time, and yeah, they'll get a lot of views. But I'm like, I want to see like original artists that actually make like really cool videos about like conventions and stuff, or just their own content.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, it's karma. It's cool that they're getting the exposure and stuff like that, but like hopefully they're doing it to get exposure and get people on board and not to make money. Because if that's how they want to make money, YouTube won't let you. Like, so when you have someone else's music, like you see that shit on my live stream, like that's my own fucking music, and I get shut down after like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like they have really strict guidelines, so it's karmatic. It's like you could be getting all these views, people, but like if you think it's going to be a business for you, it's just you're not going to get the funds. They're gonna give them to the music right holder, which sucks because you did put all that time into like getting a camera crew, going to all the cons. So it sucks in that way, but like you're right. I mean, like there's a price to pay for that like super production with other people's music and shit.
Yeah, that unfortunately, yeah, like that's how it is sometimes. I mean,
The music stuff's gotten really aggressive, which I don't mind. I got annoyed this year because who was it? It was I guess their name's Om Nom Nom. They did a cover of Pause the Walls, but they're big, so that got a ton of views. And like then they told me what in December that YouTube shot their shit down and they blocked them from doing that video ever, which is like annoying because before if I had the rights, I would just make money off of their video with their ads. Like I'd get a portion of that. But now it's like YouTube was just blocking shit. I'm like, okay, well now no one's having fun.
well,
Also,
I mean,
cover.
that's a very complicated situation. Like if that person were to like re-upload that, the whole Pause to the Walls, even if it was like a parody, would you still claim like a copyright thing?
I told them to because they're they flag you. It's like any like stupid thing online now. It's like a robot's doing it and they pull up something. But I told them to just write in the comments like I have approval for this because I did that with my stuff and it went away. I think it's just like this initial flagging thing. So maybe it's just if you put the elbow grease into it, you can like play the video. But like I don't know. Like I don't care if anyone does that shit because like honestly, like it ends up like going back to me. It ends up putting like money into the pocket of NIIC so I can buy shit. Like I don't care about it. And it gives and covers are always good too. Like you get people to see shit. But I think YouTube is like trying to figure that out. I don't think it's gonna be a permanently annoying thing. We'll see though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a totally good point. I was absolutely about to say about that, because like I feel like it's more of a like fans that want to like
Yeah, like pay tribute or do a homage
Yeah.
thing. That's
exactly
fair
a
use. Yeah.
homage. Yeah.
And even outside of like the fan, like that's a musician thing anyway. Like I have a sound company. I work for festivals and I work with a lot of like artists and musicians, like not even furry. Like I do that as my company. And like that's our culture too with that shit is like covering people's things. Like if you have like a local scene, like you work together, you do things. Like I'm hoping that doesn't get changed by new laws and regulations that YouTube and other streaming things do. I think YouTube's just the most dickish one because it's Google, so I think that's why.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
But
you're probably right.
yeah, but I'm hoping it's more like a Google Amazon thing where it's like they just red flag you and then you just take down the red flags and they just want to see if like you're gonna try. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a degree of for them it's just they become too reliant on algorithms and so forth, and
Yeah.
you just
Because they don't want to deal with that shit, and they don't want to pay for the human labor to do it. And it's like, yeah, of course, yeah. Why not make billions of dollars and not have to do anything and just frustrate people? And if they really don't want to put in the work in, that's like your security system right there. I get that, but like for artists, it's really frustrating how we're going to move forward in this world, especially now that with COVID and all the crazy shit with that, where everything's way more digital. Not that furries weren't. I'm like, I don't think this really phased anyone except for like the loss of cons. But like besides that, like we're all introverts that were just like, okay, cool. We
Well,
were doing this before COVID.
Before we get into any of that stuff, I was kind of wondering, like, what was it like when you first found out that some of your songs became totally viral and like a lot of furs
Fucking
actually
ecstatic.
found it?
I was ecstatic. I remember when I didn't even it was the songs of the EP and a couple songs of Unleashed. I just had them like done and I would just post them on For Affinity and I get like two people liking them and I got one person that would like give me shit and like say what was wrong with it. It wasn't giving shit, it was actually giving criticism, but for me and the petty bitch that I am, it was like you did this wrong and this wrong because I don't take any of that shit well and I've grown up a little bit since then, but I'm a petty bitch at heart. I try to keep my mouth shut. But that was in the beginning really, really hard when you only have like two people liking it and someone's like, yeah, but like, it'd be a lot better if you like gave a shit. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get out like what I can. It's like a process.
Yeah,
When shit blew up, I was very excited. Even when Pause the Walls, I was excited because that whole song, like I know a lot of people think it's cringy, and I don't care because it wasn't the job to be cringy. It was to have this really popular dance furry song. Because my whole thing when I researched this fan was like when I started, it was like I don't even think I knew about Pepper Coyote then. But I knew there was Rhubarb. I knew there was Bucktown Tiger. Maybe I didn't know there was Pepper. I tried to research all the people I could find. I think I went on furry Wikipedia. I was really bad at research back then. But I was like, well, all I see, what you guys are doing is like it's either covers or like it's sort of pseudo dancey things. But I was like, maybe we can like make this like furry. And that's why I like doing Paul's Up with Hixby because he had the same vision for that shit. I was like, yeah, that's what we need. Actually, maybe I'll try and make another one this year. I was thinking of it, like do like another Pause the Walls thing. That'd be cool. It'd be a good year for it, right?
yeah, but like I suppose so. Well, we're gonna get into what happened this year, of course.
when the market is ready for something, you'll know when the market is ready for something.
Yeah.
What?
That's true.
But speaking of which the year and being as it is though, how did you fare all of last year? Because that basically turned the whole world upside down.
It was a fucking nightmare. It was a
Oh,
nightmare,
yeah.
but it wasn't. But for me, it was it. I was okay with it because I don't know if anyone knew, I blacked out for like a year and a half. So like I had my Kickstarter at the end of 2018 and shit just like shit the bed for me. Like me and my boyfriend broke up. I lost my job. I had pets I had to move out with. And it was just like this clusterfuck of shit. Like I couldn't even deal with furry. Actually, what was it? It was maybe like September of 2019. I was ready to destroy NIIC. I was ready to just pack up NIIC and just be done with it. I was like, I can't fucking like figure out bills. I like started this like festival company and shit. And I'm saying all this because like all the shit that happened to everyone in 2020 already happened to me in 2019. So like when this happened, I was like, like whatever. By that point, like I got a job with a lab. That's why I always talk about the lab. And we literally like the second COVID happened, it was like we invented the fucking thing. It was like really terrifying. Like it was scary, but also like all the universities were coming to us. It was like an easy door in. So I feel horrible when anyone had shit happen with COVID. I feel horrible when people are like put out of a job and shit because I lucked out. But I get it because I had my sound company, and that was the only thing that saved me from my shit in 2018, which is why I had to put NIIC on hold. I was working like a festival. I was working like 4 festivals a week, like lifting all this heavy shit, being outside for like 13 hours. My dogs, angels, like they were at home for like 14 hours a day. Like someone could have literally just shut me down and be like, hey, this is like animal cruelty. It was really messy. But with all that shit, all that was done because of COVID. Like I had to shut down the company and everything. So like it was stressful, but not as stressful as 2018 and like all that shit blowing up and my entire life just being erased. So I'm better than everyone doing right now with COVID. We have, I don't know if Joel's in Australia, but we have this huge drama about the stimulus check and like if it's just like this I don't want to get into all that shit, but I'm just saying like it's like I really think people need to think about that because the whole stimulus thing, because there's a lot of people that really aren't better off, and brushing that shit away. Like I'm just grateful that I was able to get back on my feet.
Oh yeah, God bless.
Crazy shit.
That
And so many people didn't have
shit.
the resources or the opportunities to find, different jobs, or like if your unemployment was able to work. Like America's so bad about caring about people, which is fine, I get, but it's like when there's a real crisis and you have to lock down the country, like it's just rough for everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
In fact, two of my family members died from COVID.
Holy shit! I'm so sorry.
They lived in New York. Like,
holy fuck.
Yeah, that was back in April.
Yeah,
that's really scary. Oh my god.
It is. That's how it is, though. I mean, like, this is our world. It's crazy.
Like, I guess from my side of the things, like, I really was just super fortunate that I was still working all year long, except at the time it's just my boss, just stood us down for a month, work from home. So because my government at the time was basically offering people, offering a salary substitute, for people who just lost their jobs in COVID or who had to be stood down and work from home.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I was in that state for a month. I was able to return at a reduced capacity, and then we eventually, went through our ups and downs. Like we went back to recovery. Now, mind you, here in Australia, we weren't that impacted because our numbers, aren't as crazy, and we literally have oceans as a natural barrier.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is that. But apart from that, though, as far as life is concerned, you put your persona just on the back burner for the whole year, haven't you? Like,
he was absolutely not a priority. My priority was paying for my bills and figuring out how to do it all by myself, which I did not do for like a solid 5 years. So that was pretty cool to learn on the fly. That was pretty awesome. And also it wasn't just me, it was like the dogs. Well, and my cat when I had her, like it was just a fucking mess. But that's why when like 2020 happened, I was like, I was grateful I had my crap happen to me because this would have been a lot more devastating to me if I didn't go through that shit already. This was just like whatever. So I was just lucky. Even when my shit happened, I had friends. I could get into the lab and shit. And now we just don't ever not work. I'm going in at like 5 o'clock tomorrow because we just have too much shit to do.
Hey Vera, control your microphone noise. That's it.
I'm sorry.
You are making love to your microphone, and it's fine to listen to, but just know that we are listening to.
I was about to get my fursuit on. I'm sorry. I tried to do the thing and I forgot to mute it.
I don't know. It sounds like you were doing this ritual to magically become a Vera. Goodness.
I'm just an orange doggo. Stop judging me.
As one does.
Anyways, so nice. I was wondering what was it like when you first went to like your first live show, like at a FurCon? Like, what was that?
It was abysmal. It was fucking abysmal.
Oh, really? Why?
I've never drunken so much in my life. It was.
Oh no!
The first one
didn't.
What was the first? The first one was it FanCon? It was either FanCon or FurryCon. It might have been FurryCon.
It was FAU, Furry Fraternity United.
FAU was that the first one? Really?
That was the one I first met you at. Yeah.
Okay, no. So that one you met me at. That's a really funny story because that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, bro. I remember that shit.
Head. Again, we can talk about that, or we can talk about the first con. Let's just talk about FAU because I need to jog my memory about the first one. I don't remember. It must have been Rob.
You don't remember, bro? You don't remember like when you and me were like coming like out of your show and you were like holding all your equipment.
I'm talking about. I can't remember my first show. I remember FAU because that was the first time I put on Grim Kitty's head. And I decided I wasn't going to try and practice in the head, that it was going to be just fine. I had a huge panic attack. I had a massive panic attack because I didn't know how to work it. And you were supposed to see in it, and I got to see, but I didn't know at the time I needed 2 balaclavas. So that one I have now, I have to wear 2 balaclavas or I can't see. It doesn't like perfectly fit. I didn't know any of that shit then. So I'm like trying to dance on stage. I'm like hyperventilating because I can't fucking see. The picture was so good, which is great because I was such a mess. It was, oh my God. I was so stupid and didn't prepare fucking shit for that.
Oh, I didn't even really realize.
Thank God. I like, after that, at that one, I also drank very heavily as well. I think that one I drank a little bit, and I think that was one of the last ones. I like to drink. I like to drink a lot. If you haven't heard about that, I do.
Yeah, me too. Like,
I am a super, as much as I love drinking, I am super strict now on if I ever perform or sing in fursuit, I am sober. Because not because of any like issues with being like stupid or anything, but like the way your body is kind of thinking and breathing, and now you add on absorbing alcohol and processing it through your liver, it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. Like I'm like, you overbreathe, I can't sing right. It's like but that was one of the ones where I used to drink and like get my nerves down, and it was so counterintuitive. I'm glad you enjoyed the show because that was really stressful. All my fault. Yeah, I think I went backstage and I was just like, I am so glad. Because I was trying to go off there was like a zipper in the back and I relied on the zipper, and we don't use the zipper anymore because you're just asking for a panic attack. You just brought back all those memories. There he is.
Sorry.
Oh, goodness me. You spent all that time making all that noise just to become yourself.
For this. And now this is the camera, baby. Perfect.
There we go.
Oh,
there's dogs
Sorry,
everywhere.
I don't mean to antagonize your dogs.
Oh no, they're fine.
To say that.
I know. They don't even know what's going on.
Oh,
they're just happy I'm home.
They'll know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of that sort of stuff, like have you know, I'm very, very certain, you know, at that point your dogs must have become acclimatized to your fursuit.
Yeah, they get annoyed. They don't like it. I'm trying to do a little comic stretch on it to explain how it is. They smell me, but they see this giant yellow thing because they don't see green. It's yellow, so they see this giant yellow bunny, whatever the fuck it is, and then they smell me, and then they have all this fur. And my one dog, he hates things that are furry, like they can't be furrier than him. It's like this weird like alpha thing. So he starts ripping at my tail and shit. I don't know if you've seen it in movies. I had one where I was on the bed and he was literally like trying to grab Nice's fucking tail. They don't like it. They don't like it.
Oh no.
But when I have a second dog, the blue heeler Percy. I got him last November. I learned he's never known what a guitar was because I would start to record tracks and he'd start screaming because he thought someone was attacking me. So that was pretty cool.
Well, that actually, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about that.
But that's also, I don't know if you've seen my video of me like recording in the van. So like I can't even record in this apartment. Like I have to go into my van outside because if they see me like locked into my closet, I used to be in my closet and like record myself. So like you'd get like kind of like soundproofing. If I do that, they'll think that I'm getting hurt and start freaking out and try to save me.
And
so we have to go into the van now.
and barking the door.
Yeah, they'll start knocking down the door and shit because their job is to like protect me.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's so funny. Like every single furry remembers the first time they approach an animal in fursuit, cat, dog, and my one was just like I rock up, marking my suit, get my clothes, put my hand close to the dog, and he just backed off.
Really?
Yeah. Mind you, I have no pets at my house, but still.
Well, wait, what was the first animal that saw you in the costume?
Oh, it was a dog. Like, because I was having a fur meet at a park, with my full suit, and it's just, like we just had, these passers-by around the park, and, I figured it would be really cool to get a photo of me, getting close to the dog. So,
yeah. When I did a lot of like adventures in Philly and stuff, because I think in like 2017 I would really go out with the suit and do all that shit. I had a lot of dogs bark at me. I think these ones were okay with it, but they get annoyed because they smell me. But I think if you're like a big furry thing and they don't recognize your smell, I think they have like a problem. Like I've had dogs like try and rip at my like arms and stuff.
Yeah,
but that's what you get into. That's what you ask for.
Yeah. I guess it just comes with the suit experience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But since then though, how many months has it been since you've, last put on the fursuit?
I will tell you right now. It's a video on my YouTube. So, and I was joking, I'm seeing my friend in Massachusetts tomorrow, and I told him, because he's got his like hyena suit, I'm like, this is gonna be the first time literally like we're doing a stream tomorrow on Discord or Twitch. And I was like, dude, this is like be the first time I've literally worn this costume in like probably a year and a half. Let's find the video, because this was the last one, because this is when I tried to like keep Nice going, even though I was like critically depressed emotionally and economically. And here we go, 8 months ago.
Oh, that's quite a while. Yeah,
that was the last one. That was 8 months ago. So not that long. Not that long of a time.
I mean, it's quite a time though. I mean, I haven't worn my suit like since 3 months ago. Well, on my 4 months ago actually. And I know, like everybody's.
I haven't worn my suit in a long time. I really
no, you haven't, dude. You just wore your suit 5 minutes ago.
I mean like at FurCons. You know
not
what
that.
I mean.
That's the thing though too, is like you don't have these outlets, so everyone's not going to be wearing theirs for a while.
And how you holding up with, just because there's no furry events or anything, and in light of this, everybody's moving to the virtual space.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's why I started drawing. A big thing though, the drawing though. This is all great. I'll just say that right now. So I'm not the best person to ask about any of this. So right now in my life, it's really hard to do any of this shit. It's hard to go out. Like everything I was doing before all my shit fell apart was like I was going out every day, going out to, like I would literally leave my restaurant, put on the costume, walk out the restaurant door, wasn't a big deal. No one cared. And went to like there was either like a a beer garden. There was like an event at a bar I was playing music at. Like I was going out everywhere. I can't
Yeah.
do that shit anymore. I'm working a 12-hour day job. I have weekends off, which is great, but I want to be a human and shit there. I've got dogs now, so anything I can do has like basically a timer on it. Like I can't be out the whole day, spend a night over someone else's house. It's this whole like orchestrated shit show. So
Well,
when this all shut down and everything's digital, like I was like, "What? This is a perfect time to make nice be more than the fursuit. Make him a cartoon. Make him this thing where the music videos are all digital." This for me is my next step. I'm okay with it. I can be more free doing this.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Yeah.
And you know what I really wanted to say to you, actually, like a couple of weeks ago, when you first started to post your artwork, I was like, whoa, you're literally starting to like do artwork. You are one of the few people that I've seen that actually did their goals during
Yeah.
the pandemic, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm totally gonna learn a new skill, I'm gonna learn a new language, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do such and such, but you actually learned how to do artwork and you've improved a crap ton over the past 6 months.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm shocked.
Bro, you really did
shocked.
though. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I fucking love your stuff.
Thank
Like
you.
I mean, I watched one of the
Fine.
streams of you just picking up and drawing because you just couldn't go to sleep, and
Yeah.
God, like I can imagine how you must be feeling, just like staying up all night. Oh, I'm gonna draw because right.
Yeah. I had to stop drinking during streams because eventually when I would drinking's nice to like get into it, but over time you get distracted and you don't do right shit. So like after a while, I was like, I'm just gonna just not drink and do streams. I actually stay up longer doing it. You can like get into it better. Yeah. I'll tell you something though. I will give people a pass on that because especially in America and the way our Twitter streams and like your updates and all that shit, like everything is so uncertain. So when everything was like shut down in the beginning, like in March, right, and you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do shit. Of course, people were gonna like try and take that opportunity to better themselves. But then we started doing like the green, like in Pennsylvania, it's like the green phase, fucking red phase. Like you don't like. There's like all these new terms. It's confusing. It's very confusing. So when you think you had all this time to like learn a new language, now you're like, well, am I going back to work? Do I like you have all these different like issues that like are become these big elephants in the room. So like when it seemed like you had all this time to like be a better person, now you're like, well, do I have to go back to work? Do I have to file for more unemployment? Like, so it's this whole shit's been inconsistent, which is what pisses me off about all of it. It's like if you're gonna tell us to all just shut down, just shut us down or let us all go back. But like you're really fucking with people and their sense of like, and you see like depression's gone up and shit because of all this. Like, so if people didn't meet out their goals, it's fine. You didn't meet out your New Year's resolution goals every year anyway. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen during a weird pandemic thing where we're half closed, half open?
Yeah, right. That's.
I'm just glad I worked out mine and I could learn how to draw.
Exactly. Like, let's get creative. Like, a lot of people haven't even done that. You know.
Yeah, I can't hold them to too much shit. I can't give them too much shit for it.
Well, me neither, because like I haven't done jack shit the past like year. I kind of just watched Netflix and ate ice cream for the past 6-7 months.
Yeah.
So
but that's kind of nice though too in itself. Like if you don't treat it like it's like, oh well, I'm a shithead for like being on the couch and stuff. Because some people they just like it's just like the constant rat race of life. Like it's kind of nice to be able just to chill and like appreciate for that. Obviously, I'd like you to chill and appreciate when you know that all your bills are good and you're not going to be out on the fucking street. That's the shit that pisses me off. But who's to say like it's not nice to have everything just stop for a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
It's perspective, but also it's good if you're not up shit creek with your bills.
All right. So speaking of perspective, what did you think like when you first posted your artwork, like on Twitter, on Telegram, whatever that is? Like, what kind of like responses did you get? Like, were they positive, negative?
Yeah,
neutral?
yeah. I mean, everyone's been really cool. I had one person tell me, I need to get better at drawing. And I'm like, duh. I mean, like, if you talk to me like at any con, like, and I always think about this, like, if any con I was at before, I was always thinking, yeah, like, but it's the artists that are good. Like, I would never want to fucking draw. Like, fuck that shit. And like now I'm doing it. So it's like just my change in perspective on that. I'm like, I'm content. Like, if my art's like blah, but I took this process is the same process I did with the music, because that's how the music started. Like, I took down the Fur Affinity account because I can't deal with like 10 social media things. And I apologized to him. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't.
No, I think it was fine. It was a fair decision, actually.
Yeah. But like all those first ones, I did all the first like beta files of the EP songs. Like, they were a mess. They were a mess. Like, and that's how the art is. Like, it starts out as a mess. You just got to keep going with it. And like, the time and love, like, that gets into it. Also, what helped me with the art is like, I do my art by looking at specific artists' art and trying to draw shapes and shit on them. Like, I get a lot of my shit. I'm trying to pull a lot of my shit from Temery, who's a Canadian artist that I love, and a couple other people too. I'm trying to look at like a lot of different people's art and see like what I like about them that's really cute, or what feelings. Like, it's the feelings. Like, what feelings do I like about them? Why do I like those feelings in like this character? And seeing like, well, it's in the body shape, or it's in the expression of the eyes and shit.
Yeah, right on.
Learning all that. I don't know. I just try not to like get too obsessed with how I'm not good enough, because it's like, it's just learning the elements, and that's just takes time.
I think
Like,
a lot of it
Exactly.
too is that you shouldn't be ashamed of, needing to look at inspirations and a side image to reference from, because you can do a lot with your mind if you're from your mind, yes, but where do you fall back to when you don't you don't know like what a squirrel likes? Like, I could honestly tell you I'd feel jaded if I look back and saw what because I drew my persona, the design for my persona, and then like I did it 3 times, and then I just like, okay, that's time to get it drawn professionally by more experienced artists, and I haven't looked back. Like, I guess what I just wanted to say is, like, when you first drew your persona, what I guess, what were you thinking? Like, was this like, oh, I can't match the skill level that the professionals drew for me, or something?
Yeah,
No. Sorry.
My first art looked pretty terrible. But I didn't care, I was just like, yeah, I'm so proud of this. I'm just gonna post it, whatever. Who cares? It's like my first thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I had a really amazing philosophy to how I was going to draw. I assumed drawing was like building a car, and all you had to do was get all the shapes right. So I would literally take an anime person's, and I would do all these graphs and stuff. And like, I can apply all these same dots where the nose and all that shit to a furry animal, and this is how I'll draw. And then I was like, no, this is the stupidest thing I've ever tried to do. I was trying to like make it like Galileo's like Perfect Man, like do all the rulers and shit. Then I was like, oh, this is dumb. This is like, it looks so robotic and stupid. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to actually draw for real. But I watch, if you guys ever want, I tell people this too, like, if you ever want to look at cool drawing tips and stuff like that, I watch a lot of stuff from the animators who worked on Rick and Morty, and they've done a lot of other stuff too. They have a whole YouTube channel, and I like them because they'll take, and it's what got me to be okay with not being good at art, because they would take their old drawings from when they were like kids and then redo them. You could also submit your own art if you're an artist, and they'll make it even better. And you can watch them do the whole thing. So they'll do all their shading, all their rendering. They'll tell you like what things, not that you did wrong, but like if you wanted to do it more artistically cartoony, like these are the proportions you can do and shit to invoke, like if they're edgy, if they're like this villain, or like the different things you can do psychologically, which I thought was pretty dope. Like for villains, have more like angular, very small angle, like sharp features, and a character that's more comfortable do like more round shapes and more friendly shapes. So like cool shit like that. So I forget what it's called.
Yeah. Well, right on. That's pretty cool. I don't know what that's called either. There's probably some kind of like anime or Japanese name for it, but yeah, I totally get what you mean. So I guess like my last question for you, Nice, would be what kind of projects do you want to do in the future? Like, what are you planning on doing?
I am planning on this album. This album is my priority. I've been able to get all the vocals down and all that stuff, but I want to start streaming like parts of it that aren't boring as shit. So my priority is right now is to prepare for everything opening back up. I want to be able to prepare for going to conventions. I don't want to go to conventions empty-handed. I have a lot of people that are waiting on this album, so that's my priority. Is that when shit goes back up, I can go there. But besides the little things like that, which I consider little things because I think the longevity of NIIC is important, and I think all the shit that happened to me is a good time for me to reflect and be like, how can I make NIIC better? And my big thing was trying to get rid of the fursuit, to be honest. I want to wear the fursuit, just saying, I'm not getting rid of the fursuit. Like, I want to wear it in like as a fun personal thing, but I would like to take NIIC bigger than it because as much as it was fun to do all those shows, it's really limiting performing in a suit. And there's a lot of things I missed out on, and I couldn't control doing that. So I'd love to take NIIC with this whole digital thing we're doing right now and everything being more aligned. I want to, and my drawing, I want to see him more 3D than the real life NIIC itself. So that's, I'm trying to figure out how that isn't such an abstract concept and how it's something I can actually like apply. But I was thinking, I was looking into VR. All that shit is shit I can't do until I get better at drawing, and I have a better control over that. But
Oh wow!
I'm trying to see, like, I want to see where this VR thing goes. I want everyone to do it for me and figure it out. Like, I watch Cooper Tom and I watch a lot of people like get their like characters rendered and shit, and they use the Oculus and do all that shit. So I'm watching all of you and seeing what you're doing and seeing how, if that's the way to go.
Okay.
But I mean, to be honest, I'm 30 and I can probably perform in a fursuit singing for probably 10 more years, but this shit is fucking exhausting. And I had no problem doing it at cons and stuff, but I'm like, if there be a better way to have more control and less toll on my body and just have a better experience for people, I would like to see if maybe we can take it into a different dimension, and maybe this whole COVID shit has been like an eye opener, and now people are testing these new things. So my goal for NIIC, to answer your question more simply, is I want to make him different. I made the character different. I just want to take him farther. That was my whole thing from 2013, and that's why I was very like, I wasn't so judgmental of myself. I just kept pushing out shit, and I still do. It's like, I just want to see how far I can take this green dog thing. And I think the next step is taking him outside the fursuit. And
All right.
I'm getting caught up on all my shit. And my big thing this year too is I want to do a lot of collabs, but I need to clean up the past 2 years of shit that I owe everyone. But I want to make him. I want to make him more furry community. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but that was a big thing I want to stop doing. Was in 2017, I made NIIC very non-furry. And I'm hoping that no one noticed, but I was trying to get him outside the furry fandom. And I had a huge scene in like the Philly area. Like, I was working with a lot of bars. That's where I live now, is like a huge brewery town. And I know them only as the dog. Like, I know all the drag queens here. I know all the bar people because I'm the green dog, even though no one has ever seen me in the costume here. They just know me as that. Like, I want to not do that so much anymore and not turn my back on the furry community. I want to make NIIC more for the community now. And I think the best way to do that I haven't been doing is being more interactive with other artists and shit. But now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm getting different skills that we can do that.
Yo, right on, buddy. Absolutely. I mean, that's why we want to, promote you, your
Thanks.
music,
Appreciate
your
it.
channel, and your art, and yeah, just promote, local furs. Like, that's
Thanks.
absolutely awesome.
It's like what I told everyone in June. Last year. I was like, just fucking bear with me. There's a lot of shit I'm trying to do. I have zero time to do it. I think this week and last week were the most weeks I've ever streamed ever, because I'm trying to get into a situation where I can like keep working on shit, get up early and work on shit, but I still got a job and I got bills and I got shit. And I want NIIC to be a priority and not be on the back burner anymore too, because I think it'll help this fandom too.
Yeah, you're totally good, buddy.
Cool.
Hey, Jolt, do we have any live comments? Any questions?
I think we'll open up the question time at the moment, though. So what we usually do when we have our guest is that we I'll send it. It's time to send in the questions, but but as we're processing through that, I've got a few to give for you. So I'll send my followers that it's time to send in your questions. What would you like to ask our guest here, Nice the Singing Dog? But I've got a few as well. Like
Nice is one of the most famous, most infamous, amazingly talented artists ever. And yeah, so I'd love to hear you guys. Anyone have anything you want to say?
Yeah. But I'll start with a few as well now. Now, since you're taking Nice out of the furry world and into greater dimensions, though, you're still. I mean, is it still okay? To say that you still want to wear the fursuit, but not but just in a reduced capacity because I know it's draining. But you'll be would you be open to more like those sorts of things? So like when things open up, would you be open to say like venturing outside of the United States?
Oh yeah, I think my rambling might have confused you, and I'm sorry. So my issue in 2017-18 was that I was taking him out of the furry fandom. My issue in this year is putting him back into it, and that all that difference is it's in my head of like who my audience is, who I need to get this message to. I did a lot of things that were like more PSPCA and working with local things, which I still want to do, but I just want to give more attention to us in this community because I think that's been something I've just been like dumbly ignoring or not trying to get too involved in, and as a way of like asserting myself as being a multi-community artist. So I'm sorry if I was confusing in that. This actually is the time that I want to be more community based. But absolutely, I want to travel more than I have. I mean, I've only gone around this country as far as I have because cons have literally invited me. I haven't traveled farther. I mean, there was one time I went to Las Vegas, but like I went to Arizona in 2018. I went to Florida in 2018. I've just been invited to a lot of places, and it's been amazing that people want me to be there and do shit. And if that extends across the world, that's amazing too. Got my passport ready, so I'm very down for all of that as I get more involved with this community again. As my dogs fight in the background.
Very cool.
I know. So if you guys want to check out while you're figuring out what questions to ask me, so look at this wonderful pen. This is this used to be a stylus pen. It used to have a charging option, which was very cool. It was a very cool feature of it. Eric decided that feature was not good for the Commonwealth, so he decided to rip it apart one night when I got wasted. So I didn't have a drawing pen for like a week. That was pretty cool. My little fucking angel.
All right. Well, we might have to end this a little bit early.
We've got another question, actually. Another few questions. So here's another one from one of my supporters. Okay. Nice. Do you have aspirations beyond furry music and the furry music scene, or are you planning to stay within the fandom in your endeavors?
Yes. There we go. Okay, cool. This is another chance to properly clarify what I was trying to say. A nice thing about my whole, I'm calling it my blackout period, when I had to leave the fandom, when I just shut off everything and had to get my life together, was I started a sound company, and I worked with the same musicians that I would go to bars with as a fursuit. I was now their sound engineer. So I had this sound company, which is now on hiatus because of COVID. I'm legally not allowed to do it. But I worked in 2019 with like all these bands. I actually worked with one of the people from the Ramones, Richie Ramone, the drummer. So I did a lot of shit with a lot of great people, and I still want to do that when everything opens back up. And I'm saying this because I feel like my knowledge and my work in music is not only furry, but it's also other facets of the music industry. And I think these are all facets of the industry. I don't think furry is its own thing with music. I think it's all the same group, especially if you've ever talked with the sound techs at all of the furry conventions. They're awesome people. I would consider them music career people as well, not furry career people. And I'm saying all this because I have my sound work that I want to do. I like to be behind the scenes of music. Ironically, I don't actually like playing music. I do it for nice. That's pretty much it. I fucking hate performing besides that. So I have that. I have my own job with that outside of into the other facets of the music industry. So I have that, and I want to treat Nice Now the same way, which is one of the things I figured out in 2020. All the professional shit I figured out as like a real time person, music career person. I want to give more of that attention to Nice. I want to make him more in that aspect too. So my goal is to do both, but have do way more shit with Nice, because Nice I can do more stuff with the festival things. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of people getting events together and shit. And with my dogs and the full time job I have now with the lab, I like where I am now. So that's gonna be so. Ironically, the real music industry, the more mainstream music industry stuff, is gonna be less. But I will do that in a little bit, and I want to make the furry music part way more prominent. Does that answer the question? That could have been rambling. That could have been a lot.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Did
but,
we
like,
find things in there
yeah.
that answered the question?
Yeah, like
I ramble a lot. I'm sorry.
I got
No.
you did. I'm happy
You're
with
good.
it though.
Is
Yeah,
that good? Whoever
But
asked
here's-
the question, was that okay?
yeah.
Can I-
I'll pass it on to tell them a listen. You have your answer there. All right. So here's another one. We've got time for another one. Another one for my followers. Nice. What inspired your singing style? That's what.
Trial and error. I think when I did like songs like Paul's the Walls, I started figuring out if I started singing like I was like, like Link, like we just, oh yeah, and yeah, like the action like things, I started having fun like singing with like accented breath things. And I like doing that shit. So I figured that out like after Pause when I started doing Instinct. I got away from the Instinct style of being like pretty vocals and trying to do more like energy and sharp shit, like power shit. That was just inspired though through trial and error. Does that answer the question? Inspired it. I'm trying to figure out what else. Like, what's a really good answer for that? What inspired that? I pulled Nice originally from singers like Kesha. Like, if you ever see all the covers of like there's like Kesha.
Oh my
Garmin.
good golly goodness!
Those
I
are
love
all
Kesha.
those weren't just random covers. Those were me trying to figure out his style. Like, and I did one. I did Demi Lovato. I really don't care. Like, I got these. I wanted him to be more like a girl singer, like a dude dog, but with that kind of style, like a pop female singer. But then after a while, I was like, okay, well, I mixed around with that. And I think this way is a little more better than my first idea. So I think the original, to answer your question, I think the original idea for Nice, which is why he had that high pitched voice to begin with, and it was very more flamboyant, was because I tried to impersonate him off of people like Demi Lovato, off of the girl in Carmen, off of Kesha, off of Britney Spears, all that shit. And as I started doing more songs and I started having to actually use my voice because I got gigs at cons, then I decided to start doing a little bit of a more edgier kind of yell singing, I guess. I don't know. I like doing the shouting singing.
That is
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah, I think that answers the question. Better than the last
I'm
answer.
happy with it.
That one's less all over the place.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
happy with it. Actually, it's fantastic.
Cool.
But yeah, apart from all of that, though, I guess the last one, just before we wrap up, is what do you think? What are we looking forward to in 2021?
For me, getting this goddamn fucking album done. I want to work with more people. I want to get this album done. I want to figure out an answer to my existential question for Nice, which is where he's going to go next. Those three things.
Are you
And
going
be
to
more
have
part of
your
the community. I really want to tie musicians and artists together more, especially musicians. I've been following. If you've been a musician on Twitter, you've probably gotten a follow from me because I am stalking all of you. Because I want you to be part of my album, but I'm not going to tell you yet until I have more things. I want to have more people involved and do shit. And if it's not going to be on the album, it's going to be in art. It's going to be in music. I'm just trying to find a way to figure out how to do it all before I say too much and before over committing myself because that was my problem trying to get back to this shit after my whole life kind of crashed. I moved up here and I really tried doing it with like the first 2 videos a little bit, but it got really overwhelming. So I'm trying to avoid that again. I don't want to go black again. Because I think we have a really good thing we're doing right now with everyone. And re-talking to all of you guys and everyone being so cool again, I just want to keep this relationship good. So I'm holding my tongue until I have more data. But I'm in the most nebulous, unconfirmed way. I want to get everyone involved somehow. I'm just trying to figure out the best ways to do it. That's safe for me.
Heck yeah, buddy. Just
Yeah.
message me whenever, or
Cool.
I'll message
Awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, I
right
appreciate you
on.
always watching my streams and shit. That's really nice. I like that too. Like originally I was doing the streams because I was like, well, I don't have any shit to give people. And sometimes it takes me a month to put out a fucking song. Why don't I figure out how to do this live streaming thing? But the live streaming stopped being an excuse for me to not give you shit that was done and polished, but also got me to build better relationships with you guys. And I thank you guys for being cool and hanging out with me on the streams too, because I didn't expect that to happen.
Oh,
That
heck
didn't
yeah.
So I
You're
was like, oh, this is
awesome.
like a really cool byproduct. And I think I like it better for this reason than for my original reason of like stretching things out. This way I like is a lot better. But again, that's why you just go through with stuff. You never know what you're gonna find. You know, don't be afraid that you don't have all the things together. You're just better just to run with it. People end up being amazing.
Yeah, got it. That's yeah. That's
All right.
gonna be something to look forward to. Very last one. Very, very, very last one. Toonies asks, how long have you been in the fandom?
Since FA used to have my counter, which I liked because it would tell you when you started. I think I can tell you. I think I did FA and Twitter. I had this creepy month where I stalked everyone, so we're gonna say it doesn't count. I started in I guess April 2013. So it's gonna be 8 years. It's gonna be 8 years soon.
That works.
If you count the blackout year, between like 2019 and like a little bit of 2020. I guess.
I mean, it still counts as a year because even though there's no furry activity, but now physically, but still.
Yeah.
I know.
8 years.
That's good.
And that's my thing too. Is I'm like I feel like it's such a long time to be doing the same thing. I would love, with all my experience over the past 8 years and all the people I've met and the shit that's happened to me and the great things that have happened to me, I'd love to be able to use them all to revamp Nice, which is why I started doing the drawing too and making him totally not different, but like give him a totally different style. I want to see how I can make him more evolved now that we've had fun for the past 8 years. Like, put on our big boy boots.
All right. Well,
yeah.
But before we go, Nice.
Yeah.
What is your social media platforms? Like, how can people contact you? How can they, how can they see like what you're all about? Like, what do we got to do? YouTube,
if you want to see what
Twitter.
I'm all about, I highly recommend YouTube. If you want to do it for music, do Spotify. You can find all of those links, though, and not worry about any of that crap by just going to my Twitter. At this point, Twitter is the best way, which is Nice Dog, NIIC. There, dog. That's my handle, and you can see all the links on that Twitter feed. There's also a link to our Discord, which we do have a Discord set up, which I'm literally always in all the time because my job at the lab is long, but it's also tedious and crazy, and I like to be on Discord from time to time. So all those links, point is you can check them all out on my Twitter handle, and from there you can see my fun stuff on YouTube. Over the past 7 years, we have a lot of fun videos and a lot of cool music on there. But if you also want to just play the raw music, Spotify is your best way to go too. But I'm also on other things. So if you're also on Instagram, if you're on SoundCloud, I'm on those too. Just don't get upset if I don't message, because like this is one of my issues. Is so many different platforms people are on that Twitter, Discord, and YouTube are going to be your best bets.
Okay. Well, that's
all under the same name,
incredible.
all Nice for Nice Dog.
Well, awesome. All right.
Yeah, I got that.
Jolt, I guess this is about time to end it.
Yeah,
So
it's been a pleasure. It's been a very big pleasure of mine having you on the show. Nice.
Thank you guys. This is awesome.
we hope to listen, to hear from you further and further, and we're gonna keep track, of your projects for 2021, and just wish you the best. Get stuff done.
Yes, get shit done. Love it.
That's that's the
Yeah.
goal. And as for last time, though, our show, The Raiders Rambles, can be found on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, BitChute, YouTube, and 4 platforms further down the line. And it's never going anywhere, so you can always relive the episode where you showed up. And yeah, it's been great. We learned a lot out of this. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks,
This
guys.
is us. Farewelling you. Until next time.
Bye.
Goodbye, guys. Have a good night.